Hello, hello. I know I've been told to hold the microphone quite close to me because I know it's early morning and it's rainy and everyone doesn't really want to be up. But so I thought I'd start by talking about a topic that really matters to me. First of all, Manon, I'd love to we'll talk in a moment about everything you just said. Hi, I'm Laura. I'm from the UK. I'm both a nutritionist and a scientist, and one of my passions is on food waste. I got very much into the app because I've worked with the World Health Organization, and I'm very much about stopping nutritional misinformation, and that's what led me to you guys. One of the big issues I think that we need to address at Open Food Facts is we have a really unique position in that fact that we can help stop food waste. How can we do that? Well, we're giving people an app that essentially gives them sorry, can you move to the next slide? Perfect, thank you. So it's essentially we're giving people an app that tells them exactly what they're eating. But one thing that I've really noticed, in the UK we have these things at home. So basically, why is food waste a problem? Well, food waste is a problem because it's contributing at the moment, food waste is contributing to 1/3 of global emissions. 1/3. That's more than planes, that's more than trains, that's more than anything. And as an organisation which is focused on food, we have a unique position in that we can actually change that. 60% of food waste occurs at home. And as most of the products that people scan will be at home, when they're buying in the shops and the supermarkets things, you have a unique position where you can target them. Now, when it comes to food, really, people don't really care about the planet. I'm sorry. When it comes down to it, they really care about how it's going to affect their health, how much it costs. They care about the flavour. They care about how it looks. They care about, what's trending, what Glucose Goddess is saying. No one really cares about the planet because it's probably the last thing on their agenda. I mean, us guys are probably different in that but we're a unique, small little tribe. So we have to appeal to other things. And one thing we really have a unique positioning in the fact that we can appeal to is we can appeal to health. So we can say to people, okay, that product you're buying, if you finish everything in that jar, you would have saved X carbon emissions. If you say to them, if you eat the peel of your apple that you've just bought, then you get more for your gut microbiome. If you say to them, if you eat the skin of your fish that you just bought, you're going to get, because almost 90% of the omega-3 is actually in the adipose layer, which is between the tissue and the skin. So people are throwing away almost the most nutritionally important part of the fish. Also, people are obsessed with chia seeds, and yet they're not buying the ground version. And they only get the omega-3 if it's ground and things like that. So we have to be telling them these things as they're buying the product. And there's a unique positioning that we can tell them through the app. We can say, if you finish this much product, you'd have helped stop carbon emissions by X. There has to be, when we're looking at the Enviro score in the app, there's a unique positioning that we can say to them that we can both combine health advice and environmental advice to help people and the planet. Give them nutritional incentives to reduce food waste and tell them how that can help it. Also, I really want people, in Paris, there's such a food waste problem and it drives me mental. I can't understand it. I've just been to a buffet breakfast and people were stacking their plates high and then just having one waffle. And in England, in London, everyone uses these. They're everywhere. They need to be on your app. You need to be encouraging people to be incentivizing them to, if you're not eating it, put it in a food waste bin. You need to be giving people if you do that action, if you put it in this thing, that then goes and generates, in the UK what happens is that then goes and generates electricity, which helps to fuel the local electricity. There's a direct circular economy. We're in a unique positioning where we can say to them, it's not just about buying the food and what's in it, it's actually about eating the food. And I really want to reiterate that. It's about eating it. And everyone's gone crazy for things like the plant-based diet when it comes to the environment. But one thing they're really missing is that when it comes to things like animals and things, it's not about necessarily stopping eating animals all completely. I know that lots of people believe that there is and things, but it's very, very subjective and debatable argument. But at the end of the day, it's also about what what we buy, if we eat it all, then we're going to reduce the carbon emissions. Do you understand? Because that's less going in the trash that then leads to more, so it's about buying less but eating more, just like with the same everyone's gone about clothes and, buying less and reusing and repair and all that stuff. It's about making sure that we are being responsible. And if we can't finish the food, then we need to be directing people to where they can send that surplus food. In the UK, we have an app called Olio. They have Gander in Germany. You have to say if you're not going to finish your food, why not connect to food waste sharing apps? So like all the surplus food, give it to your local area. I mean, in the UK, I'm part of these big organisations, and what we do is any food that's left over from any event goes to a local food bank. There needs to be this infrastructure. There needs to be encouraging people to value food. And I really get so angry and I get so heated about this because as a nutritionist and somebody who in my past has worked in food banks and had experienced food poverty and food surplus, I know the importance, and my own research was on the effects of food on mental health, and I know what malnutrition does to people. And we have so many hungry people, and yet we have so much waste. And the two just don't compute in my brain. I don't understand it. It drives me mental, has literally for years. And I spend my life going around to trade shows and things and talking to startups and going to all these big nutritional events where people have all this food, and then at the end of it, they just put it all in the bin. It feeds bins, not people. And here we are preaching about the health benefits of food, and yet we're just putting it in the bin. If it's so important, why don't we value it? I'm sorry, I could talk for absolutely hours on this, and so I'm just going to say, at Open Food Facts, partly the reason why I connected to all of you guys and why I'm going to keep going around to anyone who blooming well listen to me, is because of the fact that I really, really strongly believe that we are in a unique position where we can help people to get access more nutritious food. We can help people to learn about nutrition, but we can also help businesses to connect and scientists to share their information, and we can help the planet. And one way we can do that in a really simple way is to get people to buy good food and eat it. Thank you. Oh, and if you get a product like this is a simple jar. Can I ask you to finish it? Don't leave it in your fridge. Don't open a tiny bit and then have a spoon out of it. Finish everything in it or give it to somebody else. Like yesterday, I bought some stuff and I realized I couldn't carry it, so I gave it to somebody. Share it out. Food is a blessing, and just don't forget, how important it is. Okay, thank you so much.